This is MC Tone from the 757 Spin Number the Truth. Back to y'all with another video. And today it's the NFL team breakdown. And today it is the Pittsburgh Steelers, coached by Mike Tomlin, man. I think Mike Tomlin did a great job last year, even though they went 8-8. To play Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges. Shout out to him, man, to really go 8-8. Big Ben went down early in the season, first game, had elbow surgery. And for him to just take that team 8-8 with a rebuilt defense, I think that's the best defense underneath Mike Tomlin since he won the Super Bowl. When they beat the Arizona Cardinals, that defense was not up the tier. Under him for a few years. The secondary was pretty bad. That was not the same defense under Bill Cowher, man. That defense was definitely not up to tier. So I'm just happy to see that defense back in Pittsburgh. You know, they were a great defensive team. Devin Bush, man. Devin Bush is gonna be a problem for years to come. And picking up Joe Hayden was definitely a great pickup for them. Y'all traded y'all first round pick for Mika Fitzpatrick. And that was good for. I think that was a very good move, man. He had a very productive year. He was a Pro Bowl. Hey, he had like three straight interceptions. In each game, three straight interceptions. A game apiece. So I think that was a great pickup for y'all from Mika Fitzpatrick. That defense is a top 10 defense. I think would even say it might be the number one defense. And having a Watt's brother, TJ Watt, man, he's gonna be definitely a problem. I think he's gonna be definitely a beast for years to come. You got Bud Dupree still. That defense is ready to shine, man. That defense is definitely ready to shine. And I really do love what y'all got. I got Terrell Edmonds. Let's not forget. Y'all still got Cameron Hayward, and y'all got Stephon Tuitt. And that defense, like I said, is built to go. I know Big Ben is back. He doesn't. One thing about Big Ben in this season coming up, he's never been in the best shape ever. I get that. He's coming back. Still doesn't look like he's in the best shape of like any other quarterback. It just worries me a little bit, especially at his age, especially coming off elbow surgery as a quarterback. Will he still be? What is that? I know you're not going to get the 100% Big Ben of years ago, but can you at least get 75% of what of a Big Ben from years ago? He was a high. Let's not forget too. Big Ben is a high turnover guy. He can throw for big yards, big touchdowns. You know what I mean? But to me, he's a high turnover guy, man. And can he limit that mistake, and can he just play to his defense? And I'm still worried about the run game a little bit too. Le'Veon Bell, man, was a difference maker. It's proven. I do like James Conner, but he hasn't stayed healthy. Benny Snell Jr., I really like him. And Samuel, he's pretty decent, but they're not a Le'Veon Bell. He's not a Le'Veon type back, man. And I'm just worried about that a little bit. I would have liked y'all seen y'all go off for like somebody like a Leonard Fournette. I think that would have been a great addition to the team. But I could be wrong. But let me get on with the video. Pittsburgh Steelers, coached by Mike Tomlin. Draft picks, wide receiver Chase Claypool. Hey, I've been heard that Chase Claypool might be a problem. And one thing about Pittsburgh I'm never worried about is the wide receivers, man. I know the wide receiver coach, excuse me if I'm wrong, he recently passed. He was one of the best in the league. May he rest in peace, but I think that was a huge loss for y'all. Like I said, Mike Williams, and San Antonio Holmes. At the end of the day, they never had a problem with drafting wide receivers. Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, who had a little bit of a disappointing season, had to deal with injury, but hopefully he can bounce back and prove that he can be a number one option. You got outside linebacker Alex Highsmith, running back Anthony McFarland, who's down with a concussion right now. Offensive guard Kevin Donson bring depth at the offensive line position. Antoine Brooks at the safety position, and Carlos Davis at the defensive tackle position. Some key pickups is Kayvon Walker, Stefan Winowski, guard. Eric Ebron. I do like Eric Ebron, man. That was a great pickup, a great receiving threat out of the tight end position for Ben Roethlisberger, Derek Watt, Bud Dupree, linebacker, and Zach Banner. Bud Dupree, he was put on a franchise tag, and I think that was a smart move, man. Offensive plays, like I said, the offense struggled without Big Ben. And you know Big Ben, I'm not saying he's a terrible quarterback or that he's gonna be back to what he's not gonna be no scrub, basically. I know Big Ben is not gonna be that. But I don't think Big Ben is gonna be the difference maker of this offense, especially coming back at his age. And you gotta think about it. You got a Joe Burrow, you got I think Baker Mayfield is gonna have a better season, and you got the reigning MVP Lamar Jackson. So I'm wondering I would say Big Ben ranks second best quarterback just out of reputation, but we haven't seen him in a year and a half, and I'm just wondering how is he going to come back? Is that arm still going to be live? I know Big Ben always had a big arm, but is it going to be the same with him? Especially that he's not going to be a mobile quarterback like he is. Big Ben can shrug off people, hard to take down, but I'm just curious how the offense is going to look, especially not having a Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, and you've seen that last year, the effects of that. Who's going to be that playmaker for them? Offensive plays 31st, time of possession 31st, time of possession 23, points 27, yards 30th, passing yards 31, passing touchdowns 28, rushing yards 29, rushing touchdowns 29, red zone touchdowns 32, overall touchdowns 28. The defense is what I love. The defense was ranked number 2 in the league, man, and that defense was nasty. Like I said, that was Mike Tomlin's best defense he's had in years. That Steelers defense was not up to tier during those Le'Veon, Antonio Brown years, especially in the secondary. And now that they have this defense, man, it's definitely Super Bowl caliber defense to me. Yeah, points 5, yards 5, passing yards 3, passing touchdowns 13, rushing yards 14, rushing touchdowns number 1, red zone TDs 5, overall touchdowns 6, time of possession 23rd. Y'all ranked first in sacks, interceptions 2, forced fumbles 2. Like I said, that defense was biting last year. It was one of the best in the league. I'm glad to see that old terrible towel defense back. Very nasty, physical football team. And I know y'all going to be ready for that New York Giants team that's coming up. And some key players, like I said, Big Ben is coming back. James Conner, Benny Snell Jr., Deontay Johnson. Hopefully he can have a good season. I know they have real high hopes for him. James Washington, Juju Smith-Schuster's looking to prove himself. Clay Chase-Pool, Alejandro Villanova at the offensive line position. Maurice Pouncey is a stable at the center position, still all pro ball caliber player. David DeCastro still pretty good. You got Stephon Tuitt, Cameron Hayward, T.J. Watt, Devin Bush, Joe Hayden, Terrell Edmonds, and Mika Fitzpatrick, man. That defense is definitely still pretty good. I still like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like I said, I don't think this is Baltimore. Definitely, I think is going to win the division. And I think y'all are fighting for second. And I think y'all got the lowest y'all going to go. Well, I think y'all can. Honestly, I predict y'all finishing last in y'all division. Just from the simple fact, I just don't know how Big Ben is going to come back. Dealing with these dealing with these defenses. The only team y'all probably might compete with is the Bengals. But I just don't know with a Big Ben. He's coming off elbow surgery. It seems like the Steelers are low-key going through a silent rebuild. They rebuilt their defense. They went through a culture change, getting rid of Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. And Big Ben, you heard the noise that he was not really a great leader in terms of the way he talked to people. I'm just wondering, is he out the door next year? Like I said, this is next year's quarterback draft. You got a Justin Fields and a Trevor Lawrence. Finish last in the division and be one of the worst teams in the NFL. You go after one of those young quarterbacks and get Big Ben in another year. I don't know, but like I said, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like I said, I love their defense. Losing Le'Veon and their playmakers definitely showed and had the effects that you've seen on the offense. So I'm just wondering, how do you feel, Pittsburgh Steelers fans? Do y'all like what y'all got? Do you think Big Ben still has a lot in the tank? To me, he had a year to rest his arm, so I'm not going to be shocked if he throws for a crazy amount of yards and somehow come second, go to the playoffs. But under a Mike Tomlin, who's never had a losing season, I would not expect that. But I wouldn't be shocked if they still somehow finish last in the division. Let me know. Comment, subscribe if you like the video. Share your thoughts and opinions. I'll reach back as fast as I can. Thank you for your time. Tone out.